When the player enters the world of Animal Crossing: New Horizons, they are instantly greeted with sandy shores and sunlight. A bright ukulele and horn relax the player as he or she prepares for another day. In New Horizons' 5 hours soundtrack, it is incredible how each tune seems to perfectly fit as background music no matter what the player is doing. Let's give a spotlight on these composers. The music team was led by series veteran Kazumi Totaka, along with Yasuaki Iwata, Yumi Takahashi, Shinobu Nagata, Sayako Doi, and Masato Ohashi. Kazumi Totaka gave his own thoughts on the soundtrack, saying, "Animal Crossing is meant to be ordinary. It presents a mostly regular, everyday world. That's why I try to call to mind the actual experiences you find during everyday life, and the more inconsequential thoughts and feelings that come up in ordinary, non-dramatic daily life." I hope you'll consider subscribing to Music Design so that we can both grow together. Animal Crossing soundtracks have always had that distinct homeliness and very minimalistic soundtracks. This is a no doubt influence of Totaka, whose style has always been quirky and minimal. Comparing this main theme to the previous Animal Crossing titles, we can start to see some similarities. All of them seem to have that rising up early in the morning feeling to it, but also a bit of melancholy and nostalgia as well. We will see how they capture this feeling later in this video. Of course, the most glaring similarity is the instrument selection. Animal Crossing titles stick to a combination of both real solo and synthetic instruments. For example, including the ukulele, acoustic guitar, accordion, the flugelhorn, shakers, percussion, acoustic bass, organ, piano, and strings. Now take a listen to sections 2 and 3. Did you notice how close the instruments were to your ears? The composers and musicians achieve this by using virtually no reverb. This means removing any stage or room reflections, as well as using a very close mic position to record their instruments. For example, for the acoustic guitar part I recorded, I had the microphone literally right next to the strings, so it sounds as if you were right next to it. Did you know that they stealthily hid the original GameCube Animal Crossing theme in this song? Listen to the second half of the song and see if you can pick it out. Did you hear it? Listen to just the ukulele. Now, if you know the original GameCube theme, you can hear how they took that beginning lick in the piano and incorporated it into this ukulele part. This is such a cool and subtle nod to the original game. I feel that percussion is one of the standouts in this track. The percussion is laid out in 3 separate instruments: the bongos, the shaker, and the tambourine, which is added later. The function of the bongos is to showcase an island type of atmosphere. The shaker is an excellent driver of the song, moving the song forward without distracting the listener. Lastly, the tambourine, I feel, is excellent in choruses of a song. This second half of the main theme is sort of acts like the chorus, and so the tambourine lifts up this section. Now, how I go about recreating these percussion pieces? Let's begin with the bongos. As I've said earlier in previous episodes, I record myself playing each individual part. This captures the humanity of the instruments, which actually connects more with the listener than if you just program them in. Now, the shaker, on the other hand, I do program in. I usually start with just one measure, and then copy and paste for the following measures, but throwing variations every so often to avoid it sounding too unrealistic. In all the Animal Crossing main themes, there's always a unique certain transition that all of them share. In New Horizons, listen to this transition that divides the song right down the middle. Now if you go back and listen to the previous main themes of the Animal Crossing franchise, there is that single instrument that holds on a long sustain note, and then after a few moments, the whole band comes together to form the chorus of the song. I think this is a terrific way to create unity throughout all the franchise, where their main themes follow this same structure. There are so many unique and signature instruments we've seen across the entire Animal Crossing series. If you just take a look at New Horizons, the soundtrack alone, the acoustic guitar, marimbas, drum kits, and bongos seem to be this game's signature instruments. However, I find it intriguing how the composers of this main theme included the accordion here at the end. We rarely see the accordion in the full OST of this soundtrack. But as a franchise signature instrument, though, the accordion has been a mainstay since the beginning. And at just the right time, when the chorus swells, the accordion, which many longtime fans will immediately recognize from the previous games, was chosen for pure enjoyment. Now I have a question for you. How has the Animal Crossing music or game in general inspired you? Let us know in the comments below. If you'd like to be a Patreon of the channel, check out my Patreon page here, and a big thanks to my current Patreons for help supporting and growing this channel. I shall leave you with the Animal Crossing New Horizons main theme. Enjoy.